But back to this. This is not for us about airlines. It's about workers' rights. The entire time, there were 59 Democratic senators, or 60 for some moments. As I said yesterday, we never got a single provision of the Employee Free Choice Act on the floor of the Senate. Not for a second. Not a single, despite the amazing work we all did, not just CWA, all of us, progressives across the country. Not a single advancement in workers' rights was ever made, even discussed on the floor of the U.S. Senate. The House passed bill after bill. And this is going to tie into our champion, Senator Merkley, who, as a new senator, proposed rules that would bring some democracy to the U.S. Senate. But stick on this, not for a single second. And when we said to the leadership, why can't we insert at least some provisions of Employee Free Choice Act into a spending bill, that's what this is, or some bill that must get through eventually, no, we can't do that. And now, the Republican minority can take provisions. These are draconian provisions from the point of view of airline organizing. There's no compromise here, because what they're responding to is the rule that the NMB made last year that allowed 4,000 Piedmont ground workers to win an election in CWA, mostly African Americans in that unit. Many of them paid $8 an hour at an airline controlled by U.S. Airways, where the CEO makes millions and millions of dollars a year, and they're still fighting for a first contract. This was the only advance, and it was not done by Congress, on workers' rights, which said that if a majority votes for a union, even if it's not a majority of the whole electorate, they get certified, they get the right to have a union, they get the right to bargain, they get the right to say to Parker, we're going to fight back, whether it's Charlotte Airport or anywhere else. And this is designed to strip all the benefits of that away, that one rule that we got out of the National Mediation Board, because we got a second Democrat out of the three on that board, and Linda Pachala, former president of the Flight Attendants Union, and Harry Hoagland, a former pilot, voted 2-1 against the Republican on that board. Amazing radical idea that a majority of those voting would determine the outcome of an election, not a majority of a fictitious electorate that's puffed up by the employer. It's not just about flight attendants. Right now, at this minute, American Airlines customer service workers, let out of District 6 in Texas by incredible customer service workers. 12 years they've been at this organizing. They lost an election under the old rules, where they got 42% of the entire universe, and there are no votes, but they lose the election. And now they have a petition before the NMB. And the employer has added 2,000 people who don't exist to the bargaining unit. They used to exist, like the call center in St. Louis that was shut down when they purchased TWA 8 years ago. This goes in that statute. It means that by statute, workers that are gone forever, 10 years, 20 years, it could be anything. Employer puts them on the list. You need a majority of the whole list, or you don't even get an election. And the one provision, the one advancement since the 2008 elections that we have, the only advancement in the entire country as we're under attack every minute, that's a rule. That's not even in this statute. The leadership in the Senate didn't even see fit to include in this gutting of the statute the rule that the Delta is objecting to in the first place. The rule that says, oh, it's a majority of those voting, not a majority of the whole electorate, if you can get to an election. So they've changed the rules to get to an election. You now need 50% of the so-called electorate. But ours, one little crumb of an advancement is left as a rule. So the day there's ever a Republican president elected, and there's now 2 Republicans and 1 Democrat, they're going to strip the rule. The statute will remain. It's worse than it's ever been. We didn't get 1 minute to confer with the Senate leader on this. Not 1 minute when he agreed to this. And who did he agree with? Boehner. This is a disgrace, and I want everyone here to stand up again, that we're going to fight back today when we go to that Senate. Every single minute we're up there.